8:10 tonight is your first pitch in Houston. Guardians, Astros, live on your FM home for Cleveland Guardians baseball. 100.7 WMMS. 7:40 pregame with Hammy and Rosie and everybody else. We were talking about the Pixar movie Elemental yesterday. Mary and I went off a little tangent about it. How it was, given the grand scheme of the Pixar catalog, kind of disappointing.
A little too serious?
Well, when it first opened, people were like, I was just reading this morning. People were going, well, Pixar's got a flop on their hands. It's not their first flop. I mean, they've had a couple along the way, but that's certainly not their track record. But they called it a flop because it made less than $30 million, which the money that they spend on these movies, that's a lot. Well, it has stayed in the theaters, and people have continued to trickle out and see the movie. And now it's earned $150 million, and it's going to cross $400 million internationally.
Dang.
Making it one of their most popular movies since the very first Toy Story.
That's hard to believe. That's crazy.
That's what jumped out at me. I was like, this is wild. Because, again, we took our daughter and we saw it. We were like, oh, it's entertaining. But, again, it's kind of a little bit.
It's heavy.
Well, they're all kind of heavy. But, again, the thing that jumped out at me, this is like right.
Yeah, it's
there
not
you go.
balanced like the other ones are.
This is one of the first ones where, like, the main characters aren't kids. And so, yeah, it was a weird vibe. It didn't have, like,
kids
marquee
or toys
names.
or cars or, there's plenty where they're not necessarily kids, but it's one where they're
they're grown people.
They're not existing in a kid's world. Like, they're not kid adjacent. Like cars, they're adult cars, but it's very much a childlike world.
Right. The inanimate objects that are,
these are elements.
They're not silly. It's not a silly movie.
Yeah.
They're not going for the laughs.
Well, they are.
But they missed.
Well, it's just a weird, it's just a weird thing. But anyway, Elemental has ended up just by sheer stick-to-itiveness.
Lack of options, too.
What's that?
There's not been a lot of kids movies.
There's not a lot of kids movies out. I did hear that the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie is fantastic.
It comes out, next week?
Yeah, I think it comes out next week. My friend saw a preview screening of it yesterday and said it was delightful.
They got that I Like Turtles kid to come back and do
a promo,
promos for it. Nice full circle thing for this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remembers the little kid at the state fair where they asked him a question and he just said, I like turtles, which led you to believe that this kid was touched in the head. But maybe that wasn't the case.
Job, what do you think?
I like turtles.
Okay, you can't forget this one, right?
Everybody.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Portland, Oregon.
I know, though, that viral moment happened live on KGW broadcast back in 2007 from Waterfront Park.
They put the dude back in the
zombie makeup and everything. Yeah, you got to. It's great.
I love it.
Well, now, 16 years later, the boy who became known as Zombie Kid is reprising his role. Jonathan Ware is part of a new promo for Paramount's upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Check it out.
Back here live. We just got out of a screening for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and I'm with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. Looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What'd you think of the movie?
I like turtles.
All right,
doesn't have the same.
Yeah,
zest.
Why don't you do it as an adult though? I still like
you probably
turtles.
got a little bag.
I like turtles. What?
You probably got a little bit of money for that. You probably got a
No, I mean like
$1,500.
why do turtles? He goes,
That's
I
the
like
point.
I like turtles. Hey, he spoke like that because he's a kid. He's a
Right.
grown man now. It would have been funnier if he said, I like turtles. Yeah, and then walked away.
I enjoy tortoises.
Well, turtles and tortoises are different, Mary.
What type of amphibians? What are turtles? Are turtles amphibians?
This is not a teaching hospital. I don't know what to
It's
tell you.
a learning library.
No. Turtles and tortoises are different.
I think a tortoise is a reptile?
All tortoises are turtles, Mary.
Yeah,
Not
it's a
all
reptile.
turtles are tortoises.
You're a tortoise.
Which means
You know what it means.
I am encased in a bony shell, if that's what you mean.
No.
Hey-oh. All right, well, fine. You can always leave us messages. The Alan Cox Show After Hours line is available to you. It's 216-986-8903.
What's up, guys? You guys are talking about the 1 and 2 number bathrooms. I just thought I'd regale you with a tale about when I worked at Denny's. I was a cook, and somebody went into the bathroom. I don't know who, and in the men's room, and there was crap on the walls behind the toilet, on the floor, and I'm 90% sure there was even some on the ceiling. And my manager walks over to me, and he goes, "You need to clean that bathroom." I just thought, it was a little mop, whatever. I walked in there. I immediately turned around, found my manager, and said, "If I go in there and touch anything, I will quit this job and I will report you." There's my story. Hate the show. Love you guys. Bye.
Where's the rest of the
I was gonna say,
story?
did he quit? Did he report him?
That's my story? What the?
Half a story.
That's half a story. Went back to the manager, because if you've ever worked in retail or whatever, a story like that is not uncommon. Hey, somebody just destroyed the bathroom. We got to pick a straw here and see who's going to clean it up. And people go, I will walk my ass out that. Where's the rest of the story? That's you left us with blue balls there.
Yeah, you need
Narrative
to tell
blue
the
balls.
story.
Need to know the rest of it.
Pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo, poo, pee-pee, pee-pee, poo, poo, poo. Oh, pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo.
There you go. That's just for you, Bill.
I think that is the new theme song for the PAPC. Is that what we call it?
The Poop and Pee Committee?
Yeah.
Commission? Whatever it is?
What I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo, poo, pee-pee, pee-pee, poo, poo, poo. Oh, pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too.
This is a
Poo-poo,
banger.
pee-pee poo.
I gotta tell you, it's got a real holiday kind of vibe to it too, right? It's reminiscent. I'm not sure if he's taking the melody from a holiday song, but there's something reminiscent of that. Imagine having to get dressed fully every time you wanted to go to the bathroom. The hell was that?
Sorry, that was me moving back my camera.
Oh,
So I'm framed properly.
that's all right. I thought somebody farted.
No.
It sounded like a big rumbly fart,
It sounds like it, though.
like Bill's in the stairwell.
Oh, such a good fart.
So good.
Someone from Japan or Korea shared that on their story the other day.
Yours?
Yeah, my fart, like my post. I just was tagged in it. I was like, how'd they find this?
How did they find it?
I
Are
don't
there
know.
any hashtags on it?
I don't think so. It's so far back. I don't even know if I could find it again.
Good fun.
Like 2018.
Mm-hmm. That's Bill's 9th floor fart.
It's a good fart.
That was a penthouse poop.
So did we agree that my place is now called Poundcake Spin House, by the way?
Did we
No.
agree? Well, Mary didn't seem to. I still
You
contend.
can call it whatever you want. I just thought a penthouse was the only,
only unit.
Yeah, that it was one unit that took up the entire.
Well, do we
top
determine if
floor.
that's true?
Well, then, if that's the case, if that's multiple units on the top floor, I lived in a penthouse at Bozo's place because I was on the top floor. It was me and one other guy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think you were in a penthouse apartment.
PC's Penthouse. It sounds better.
Okay,
What
but
was the
dude,
other-
it's your house.
What was the other option?
The Pound Palace.
I like that one.
You
too.
threw out a bunch of them.
My cake place.
We threw a couple.
Cake Place.
Cake place. I mean, why not just call it Codopolis? I mean, that's the one that you always return to.
Yeah, that's my lair.
Your lair.
My secret lair, yeah.
Right, but except it's not a secret.
I know, but that's before I had an actual lair. It was a secret lair.
Do you have a sign on the outside of your apartment door?
I don't.
Hmm.
No, I like to be.
Should he?
Do you have a number?
Yeah.
What's the number?
I'm not telling the number of my
They don't know the building. What's the number on your door?
64.
Yeah!
No.
Only 5 more, and he'd have a pretty good time. Okay, well, but you're on the top floor. Again, I don't know. I thought that any top floor residence was a penthouse. I didn't think it had to be a single unit.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know the technical way that it works. I'm not a house builder.
You're not an urban planner
But
or an architect?
when I think penthouse, I think entire top floor.
Nice. Okay, well, you could be right. How many other units on your floor, Cody?
Oh, I don't know.
But you're the biggest unit there?
I have the biggest unit.
Yeah, well,
There
that's
he
kind of
is.
what I was.
Good morning.
He did it.
I want to like.
Hi, everybody.
I'm torn between like staying to myself like I want to, like I want to be a hermit, and like now that I have an apartment, I never have to leave, or making friends with my neighbors. Because we at Gay Bay, we made friends with our neighbors, and we were like by the pool together, and we would just walk in each other's houses. It was like a nice little relationship.
But you're also not 22.
They weren't 22.
I'm saying, weren't you younger when you lived there?
Yeah, I was like 26 to like 20.
What's his age have to do with it?
I feel like I thought you were much younger than that. I thought you were like college, like post-college age.
No,
But
this
like,
was when I lived.
Well, he's post-college age now.
This is when I had a condo with my two other gays. For whatever reason, that gays know where the best places to live are. Like we found this place and we thought it was a steal, and then turns out it was a little gay metropolis. There was a bunch of gays that lived back there. So we had a gay neighbor behind us, and then a gay couple like across from us. So we all just would hang out together.
Mary, nobody knows the struggle of the sexes more than a gay man, and nobody knows I'm sorry, the inequality of sexes like a gay man, and nobody knows the best places to live like a gay man.
I know that.
Well, he keeps racking them up, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was a awesome place to live.
So now you're like, well, because in an apartment situation, you have to go knock on somebody's door.
Don't force it.
That's
I'm not going to force it, but I'm seeing people in the hallway, and I'm going to be like, hi, I'm new. And they could,
I'm Cody. I just moved into 64.
What's the matter with that? Yeah, like a sitcom.
I don't know. I was.
You need a Kramer who just comes in your door whenever, right?
Yeah, I just want to make friends. Like I just want to know, like if we want to complain about something, like with the building or whoever parking. I have a friend. You're like, oh, don't worry about that. Like, we can talk trash together. Just camaraderie.
Yeah.
We both own our place, or we both rent our place. We're friends. You're on a lower level than me, but we're friends.
I never lived in like a young, hip spot when I was young, and I had apartments. Apartment buildings were always like older people. Like Bill, his building,
it's old.
The median age is very, because it's people that have been there for 100 years or whatever. The places I lived in, I mean, it was pretty transient, but it was kind of like, it was always older people. It wasn't like I'd knock on my neighbor's doors like, hey, what's up? Come on in. It wasn't like that.
My divorce apartment, the guy across the hall was another comic, but he wasn't like, I never saw him a lot to begin with until I moved in and he was across the hall. So mostly that was me banging on his door hammered at 3 a.m. Like, Bob, you have any pizza?
Oh,
like,
my God.
Yeah.
God, so you were the worst neighbor.
Him. Well, because I knew him. I wouldn't do that to a random stranger.
No, I know people too. I don't want them banging on my door at 3 a.m. asking for pizza.
Right. Yeah, that's also the difference.
Right, but he wasn't. Was he an alcoholic?
He liked to drink.
Oh, well.
I mean, there were plenty of times where we would just get hammered.
I see.
Did he bang on your door?
No. That was a one-way ticket.
Right.
But he almost always had frozen pizza, which is, you can't let me know that because I'm going to show up and need some pizza.
This poor guy's pretending he's not home all the time. Yeah. He's just hiding on the other side of the door.
He had the two-bedroom version of my apartment, and I was like, my goodness, look at this guy living life.
Oh, he's got a whole extra bedroom.
Unbelievable.
And only one person.
Yeah, there was, when I was moving in, there was a girl on like the little balcony area. Or terrace, whatever, place with the steps. And I was walking up, and she was taking a selfie. And she's like, "Oh, don't mind me." She's like, "I never take selfies." And she was like, "I'm just trying to find a proper lighting." I said, "Awesome, sweet." And I was in the middle of something, so I didn't really introduce myself. But I saw her again later that day as she was walking in, and I said, "Hi." I was like, "I'm Cody. I'm in such and such apartment. I'm new here." And she's like, "Sweet, I don't talk to anybody here, but I'll shake your hand." And then she just kept walking. I was like, "Oh. Okay. Hi. Bye." So I'll see you around.
I mean, my divorce apartment, I guess that was a penthouse too. I was on the top floor. But across the hall from me was this old queen who, that's what he called himself, who had lived there for like 40 years. Mm-hmm. And so I'd see him in the hallway, and he was always dressed like, he had like a dressing robe on all the time, right? Kind of like a Liberace vibe. And he would always be asking me if because I would be going down to do laundry or something. He'd be like, "Alan, could you throw this in?" I go, "Yeah, okay, sure." But when he would have his door open, I would kind of peer inside, and he had this just opulent apartment, like this impeccably appointed. You know, when you look in someone's apartment and you go, oh, they've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Because, right, they didn't move in last week, you know, with Louis XIV's throne in the corner. I mean, this guy had the kind of pieces that Poundcake would have sniffed immediately.
Right.
Oh, wow.
They reeked of history. And so he was like, I've been here for decades. And, you know, he was very dramatic, but the guy was great. I was only there for about a year, but, I mean, he was so nice.
What's weird about my building is I'll see people on a pretty regular basis, and then I won't.
Because they die. But isn't there a bulletin board in like the lobby that says like apartment for
It's a rotating obituary.
Yeah.
I don't really check any of that stuff. I just go, hey, where's so and so, and then I'm like,
Yep. It's like working
I meet
here.
Yeah.
People haven't died; they're just not here anymore.
They're just not here anymore.
Yeah, we
They
don't
moved
know.
on.
Yep.
Hopefully to a better place.
They should send an email to the people who live on your floor. Hey, Mrs. Murgatroyd passed away in her sleep. Or Mrs. Murgatroyd choked on a piece of steak, and so her apartment is now available. Her condo is for sale and or rent. Anyway, I got way off here, but imagine dressing yourself every time you have to go to the bathroom. I was reading about this woman. It was you see a lot of romanticizing of van life, Gabby Petito notwithstanding. But a lot of people, if you follow van life accounts online or whatever, and I was reading this long story about this woman who moved to Toronto from Sydney, Australia, a young woman. She's 29 years old, and she lives in a van for the past 4 years. She and her fiancé have lived full-time in a giant Sprinter van, 72 square feet. But they don't have a bathroom. Like they're incrementally putting more things in it, like they have a stove now. But for me, it was the whole passage about the bathroom. She's like, we don't have a shower or a toilet. So we use the bathroom at the gym where her boyfriend works, or we buy coffees so we can use the Starbucks bathroom, which is really annoying in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, so we have to get fully dressed just to get to a toilet. And it goes without saying, these are people with no kids, right? I mean, these are people that were just like by themselves, and this is how we're going to live. But it's one of those things you kind of take for granted, too. You might not like your apartment, or it might not be, your location, but you got a toilet in there.
Right.
You got running water. You got to put all your clothes on first thing in the morning. Get out the back of your van doors and go take a dump.
Oh, horrible.
Think about that. And they've been doing it for 4 years. They're like, we love it. Okay, well, God bless you. Good for you. But they don't talk about
they love it.
Huh?
I don't think anybody loves it.
Aussie Mayor here. I love getting dressed first thing in the morning. I got a full bladder. I haven't peed in 18 hours. I sleep a lot.
Yeah.
And then you got to pull up to the gas station, hope that the bathroom is inside. When it's one of those around the back ones, that's dirty. People are usually dead in there. But you put your clothes on, you go into the gym, take a shower. Honestly, not that bad.
People are dead in there, you said, or it just smells like people are dead in there?
Both. A lot of overdoses.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit of meth here or there. I heard meth's not that bad.
So you're standing there doing the pee-pee dance in the morning, living that van life.
Yes.
And there's people in there that might be dead for all you know.
That's why you try to use the Starbucks instead of the gas station, but...
Well, plus coffee, isn't it just a vicious cycle? Because coffee's a diuretic.
I don't know what that means.
They don't have diuretics in Australia?
You're so confused by that, you lost your accent.
Pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee-poo, pee-pee-poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee-poo. Poo-poo, pee-pee-poo-poo, pee-pee-pee-poo-poo-poo. Oh, pee-pee's
see
what
this
I
guy
like
driving
to
around
do.
singing this.
Pee-pee-poo, pee-pee-poo, poo-poo. I like
He's
to
got
do
arms
too.
going in my
Poo-poo,
head.
pee-pee-poo.
This is why I'm drilling it into people's
With his,
heads now.
13-year-old daughter in the back,
Oh.
just like, what are you, Dad,
Dad.
shut up.
Pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee-poo, pee-pee-poo. I've got to take a break. If you want to send a text 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. We'll get some pictures your way, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. An aquatic event